Okay, this is my new truck I've been so excited about. New to me, it's a 2004 Chevy Silverado, so nothing special there. But I have been looking for this specific truck for over 3 years and looking hard for it. Checking Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, online dealerships, local dealerships, you name it. And in the case of Marketplace, checking it multiple times a day. Yeah, I have been looking hard for this truck. And there were a combination of factors that made this one so difficult to find, but one of the biggest ones is it's just so hard to find a good, affordable vehicle now. They're few and far between. Okay, now, affordable is one of those terms that it means something different to all of us. Okay, for some of you, a brand new, loaded, top of the line, whatever truck is affordable. For me, there's nothing new that's affordable. We're all in different situations. And when I say affordable, I'm not just talking about the cost of the vehicle. I'm also talking about the future expenses of the vehicle. All right, that's something a lot of us just don't consider. All right, what's the gas mileage going to be? Are parts easy to find? Are parts expensive? Okay. I've got a friend that he had to replace the front headlight assembly on a Lexus that he had. And it was one of the ones that when you turned the steering wheel, the headlights turned with it. All right, so it had a computer-controlled motor in there. And that headlight assembly, I don't remember exactly what it costed him, but it was one of those numbers that was just so high, I was in disbelief that a headlight assembly could cost that much. I think it was like $2,000, and that was before COVID. I've got one even better for you. I watched a video earlier. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. It was a mechanic. He had to replace the rear taillight assembly in a Ford F-150. And the bill for that ended up being $5,600. Okay, for me, that's not affordable, $5,600 for a taillight assembly. Now, the mechanic did mention that his customer for that just didn't have any problem with it. Okay, well, for that customer, it was affordable. That customer bought a vehicle he could afford the vehicle and the future maintenance. And that gets so many of us now. And I know a lot of you ladies out there, Mrs. River included, a lot of you think mechanics take advantage of you because you don't know much about vehicles. You're a woman, okay, they're going to rip you off. That's rarely the case. It costs you so much generally because you don't know much about vehicles, but it's because you bought vehicles that you didn't know the parts were so expensive or that they were so hard to work on. It's the manufacturer and the marketing that got you, not the mechanic. As a matter of fact, all of us, we should know what our next vehicle is going to be before we buy it. Right now, if you've got a perfectly good vehicle, you need to know, okay, if it died tomorrow, what are you going to do? Don't wait till it's dead and you've got to have transportation the next day to get to work, because then you're going and you're talking to salesmen. Okay, the salesmen are not your friend. Go talk to a mechanic. They are. Ask a mechanic. Stop by a local shop and ask them, what's just a good vehicle? And they'll be happy to tell you. The really good vehicles, those are generally the ones that mechanics, they enjoy working on those. They appreciate those vehicles. I say, yeah, ask a mechanic, start looking, start doing the research, and figure out, can you afford it? Figure out what year can you afford, what model. Do the research on that specific model. In my case, the 2004 Silverados, that was a good model. They put good engines in them from 99 to 2006, really good engines, the LS engines. And even you Ford and Dodge guys, I have to admit, the LS engines were some good motors. Okay, so it was good in 2004, it was good in 2014, and it's still going to be good in 2024. A good vehicle doesn't quit being good because of age. Now, you can run into other problems because of age, but that's where checking the mileage, finding an older vehicle with low mileage that was kept up comes in. Okay, that's all part of that research. And I did my research on this one. Okay, now there was another feature on this one that made it much more difficult to find, and that's one of the little luxuries I wanted. This one's a step side, and they didn't make many step side Chevrolets in this year range with the LS engines. But that's something I really wanted. And I know a lot of you don't like a step side. It makes the bed narrower and cuts down on bed space. But for me, I wanted the step side for one very specific reason. So that when I go fishing in the wintertime and I launch my boat by myself, I don't have to walk out into that cold water anymore. Ooh, that'll wake you up. Yeah, I can just step up here over into the bed and then onto the bumper and launch my boat. And I know that doesn't mean much to a lot of you, but those of you that launch a boat in the wintertime by yourself, you know exactly what I'm talking about. One of the little luxuries I wanted. And the luxuries generally are what cost us, and that did cost me a little extra because it made this harder to find in a rarer truck. But this is one of those little luxuries that's not going to keep costing me. I don't have to worry about, whatever motor going out on this and me having to pay $18,000 for the repair on this. Okay, and then what I said about us not knowing about the vehicles and the expenses and so forth, that's getting a lot of us men these days because we don't work on our vehicles like we used to, and we don't keep up with parts like we used to. So that research is important for all of us in finding a good vehicle, a good affordable one. Okay, and then just on a side note, if you go on the Facebook Marketplace and you're looking for a vehicle there, understand anything could happen with any used vehicle. It can happen with any new one, but you don't have the warranty with the used one. Part of the research is to click on the user profiles of whoever's selling whatever. And just a little side note for you, those of you selling a vehicle, your profile picture, try not to look like a meth head. I'm sorry, but that's a quick no for me when I was looking at vehicles, and I honestly can't tell you how many people I saw on there when I was doing my research for 3 years that I'd have been ashamed to put that picture up as a profile picture. I'm not going to put a picture up of Mrs. River with blue hair making obscene gestures at the camera. Not that she would do that anyway. Okay, so for those of you that have got pictures of your significant others making obscene gestures at the camera, it's not going to help you sell whatever unless that's just the individual type of individual that's looking for whatever you got. But anyway, that's a whole different side story, but that's a big part of it right there. Try when you're looking for a vehicle, what can you learn about the person selling? Okay, and in this particular one, a lot of what impressed me about this truck was the things that the guy I bought this truck from did to it. And he did absolutely every single thing I would have done to this truck if I was building this like I wanted it from scratch. All right, so anyway, just some food for thought there. And like I said before, our vehicles are important because they can truly cost us or they can truly help us. And then our uses for a vehicle is important too. Okay, I've got a friend, he's a contractor, he's hauling heavy equipment and equipment just absolutely all over God's creation, and he needs a vehicle that can do that. All right, in my case, I don't need the towing capacity that he does. I'm not going to put the miles on this that he is. So I don't need a brand new top of the line whatever. In his case, he does. Plus, his brand new top of the line whatever, it's making him money. It's paying for itself. This is just to keep me from getting my feet cold in the wintertime. It's not making me no money. That's just a luxury. Okay, next time we should be getting back to the toolkit, the minimalist toolkit we were talking about before. I ordered a few things. They're on the way. I'm trying to get this set up and ready to go. I got to get back on the house. It's just been a distraction for me. I got other work I got to be doing, but this is something I've been needing to do. And this was the time to do it since I finally found my truck after 3 years. Okay, God bless, and we'll see you next time.